Hello everybody, I hope all of you are having a great day so far. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know many of you guys are trying to remain optimistic and happy and positive during these times. And so I hope that all of you receive your $1,400 stimulus check by April 7th, which is tomorrow. Now if you do not end up receiving your $1,400 payment by or on April 7th, you don't have to worry, because on this channel I always provide you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check news. The whole goal of this channel is to help every single one of you guys receive a stimulus check. Now guys, I truly understand how all of you feel. It is frustrating that we all have to keep waiting and waiting for the stimulus money. The IRS should have definitely sent out a third stimulus payment a long time ago to all eligible Americans. But luckily, some of you are already seeing a pending deposit. But we have to stay focused on the positive news. And it's that some of you guys are already seeing a pending deposit in your bank accounts. I just hope that the IRS continues to work on sending out stimulus checks as quickly as possible. Now everybody, before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give this video a like, and leave me a comment down below telling me if you received your stimulus check today. And let's get this video to 1,000 likes if you believe that the IRS must do a better job of sending out stimulus checks. I personally believe that the IRS is the ones holding back your stimulus checks. Many of you guys have already given the IRS all your important tax information and even banking and mailing address. So the IRS has no excuse to not send out more stimulus. If you guys agree, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. Now unfortunately, there are still millions of Americans that do not see a pending deposit at all, or even a payment date on the IRS Get My Payment tool. It is really upsetting everybody that so many of you are still waiting for your payment. The IRS is still not being 100% transparent with the American people like you and I. The majority of you received the past 2 rounds of stimulus checks very quickly. The delivery of the first and second stimulus checks went out smoothly without any issues at all. But now all of a sudden, with a third round of stimulus, the IRS is having so much difficulty sending out stimulus payments. It's actually ridiculous, everybody. The IRS has got to be sending out stimulus checks, multiple batches of stimulus checks, each and every day. But right now, the IRS is also working on providing supplemental payments to those eligible for a new or larger payment based on the previous 2020 tax returns. And that's some great news, everybody. But folks, if your third stimulus check was a little smaller than it should have been, you may receive a fourth deposit from the Internal Revenue Service. You may receive a fourth deposit from a tax agency. The IRS starts sending out third payments worth up to $1,400 for eligible taxpayers, as well as their dependents, back in March. Now at that time, the IRS did not process many 2020 tax returns. So this might explain why you may receive less money than you should have received. But there is some good news for taxpayers. The IRS has already announced that taxpayers will not have to wait to have their payments topped off, and that means more stimulus money for you guys. According to the IRS, many taxpayers have already received a supplemental payment like a stimulus check, and they're calling these checks plus-up payments. These plus-up payments will be sent on an ongoing basis to all people who are eligible for more money based on a 2020 AGI, or if they had a new dependent. Remember folks, that if you guys are on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, and other federal benefits, you are automatically eligible for a stimulus check. So please, make sure to keep an eye out on your bank accounts and mailboxes, everybody. You never know when a stimulus check might be in there. And for those of you that file taxes, the IRS has pushed the tax filing deadline all the way to May 17th. But don't worry if you don't file taxes, everybody. The IRS confirmed that it started sending out payments to all Social Security beneficiaries, and even SI or SSDI beneficiaries, even if you did not file a 2020 or 2019 tax return. The IRS has stated that most of these recipients should get their payments electronically by April 7th. So everybody, just be on the lookout for more stimulus checks in your bank accounts and mailboxes. The IRS still has a lot of time to get those stimulus checks sent out. I just want all of you to know that the IRS will be sending out stimulus checks to eligible Americans on a weekly basis. So if you don't receive your check this week, then you'll most likely receive it the week after. But folks, just know this. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki recently stated that Joe Biden will have more to say in April about his recovery plan, focused on issues like healthcare and for people leaving the workforce. Jen Psaki told Fox News on Sunday, when the president advocated for the American Rescue Plan, he talked about this being 2 stages, rescue then recovery. A fourth stimulus check might be approved before the end of the year. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Until next time, have a great day and stay safe.
We saw a level of callousness and detachment that resulted in great suffering, and as we know, California in particular had often 7 on the top 10 list of cities around the country who were hardest hit by the foreclosure. 7 were in California. We lost 1 million children lost their homes during that foreclosure crisis. And at its core, my connection to that case was about challenging the banks to be accountable for their conduct. The $12 billion, I worked together, that was one of the last things I did in the Senate, working with my colleagues in the Senate to get that $12 billion into that bill, knowing the incredible relationship that our community banks, this fancy word is CDFI, I call it community banks, that community banks have with our small businesses. And when we then think about all of this in connection with the American Rescue Plan and the American Jobs Plan, which are designed to lift up our economy and to lift up the drivers of our economy, understanding that half of America's workforce works for a small business or runs a small business. So the connections are clear, and so my work on CDFIs is really motivated by what I do believe are the success stories of America in terms of who is contributing to the lifeblood of communities, and in particular the economic lifeblood of communities. And so the work that we've been doing, I've been really doing a lot of work with various CDFIs around the country, community banks, to see how with that $12 billion, Congressman, we can really lift up these businesses around access to capital. Because it is both in terms of that initial investment, as you described, Rain, it is also so many, in particular of our minority and women-owned businesses, they have an idea to grow and need someone to believe in them, to not only help them create a business, but then to grow that business, along with, as you described, the technical assistance, along with giving folks an infrastructure. I recently had a conversation with a CDFI in South Dakota who's particularly focused on tribal and native businesses and folks, and being able to talk culturally with people. So that CDFI in particular knew that there were a lot of folks who had bad credit because they'd been receiving bad advice. And again, they want to do better. But if you walk into a financial institution and feel you're being judged, you're likely to walk out without receiving the help that might be available. And that's the other benefit and strength of our community banks. And the community banks are in the community. The community banks are going to know and say, Bob, you can't afford that house, get out of here. And they're going to say, and Mary, that is a great business, we believe in you, but there's a certain connection with the folks that is not about the money, it's about growing the community and the economy of that community. So I'm really pleased and happy to be here, and thank you for that. And with that,